Did you really remove the Tennessee state flag from your conference room?
Senator, I appreciate you asking about this again. As the chief federal law enforcement.
Welcome. Did you do it?
So I felt it was fundamentally inappropriate when I gave press conferences and similar statements to the public to indicate or suggest somehow that I spoke for the state, which I don't under our system of federalism.
Are you embarrassed to be from Tennessee?
Not at all, Senator. I am from Tennessee, grew up as a public school kid in Tennessee.
But you were embarrassed to have the Tennessee flag.
That's not it at all, Senator.
Okay. You have a history of lying to your professional colleagues, don't you?
Senator John Kennedy delivers one of the most devastating takedowns of a judicial nominee in Senate history, exposing lies, professional misconduct, and a pattern of behavior so serious that colleagues warned each other about him. The nominee claimed amnesia about serious complaints, denied being a political activist despite his own speech proving otherwise, and appeared to commit perjury right there in the hearing room. Kennedy wasn't having it, and what followed was absolutely ruthless. Senator Kennedy used the nominee's own statements, documented DOJ actions, and professional complaints to build an airtight case against this nomination. The nominee's repeated claims of amnesia, his inability to remember being removed from cases, and his contradictory testimony under oath painted a picture of someone fundamentally dishonest and unfit for a lifetime judicial appointment. Let's dive into the main video.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ritz, you are a political activist, aren't you?
I would not consider myself that at all, Senator.
Okay. When you were sworn in as U.S. Attorney, you gave a speech, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. Here's what you said. I'm going to quote from your speech. But you should know that justice for me is about more than putting people in prison. For me, it's also about who votes and how hard it is to cast that vote. It's about where pipelines go. It's about where bus routes go. Justice is about whether people in all zip codes can get a loan, whether women have access to health care, whether citizens have affordable housing or clean drinking water. Sometimes those are Department of Justice issues. Sometimes they are not. But for me, they're all justice issues. Did I read that accurately?
I believe so, Senator.
Okay. Did you really remove the Tennessee state flag from your conference room?
Senator, I appreciate you asking about this again. As the chief federal law enforcement.
Welcome. Did you do it?
So I felt it was fundamentally inappropriate when I gave press conferences and similar statements to the public to indicate or suggest somehow that I spoke for the state, which I don't under our system of federalism.
Are you embarrassed to be from Tennessee?
Not at all, Senator. I am from Tennessee, grew up as a public school kid in Tennessee.
But you were embarrassed to have the Tennessee flag.
That's not it at all, Senator.
Okay. You have a history of lying to your professional colleagues, don't you?
That's not true, Senator.
Okay. Do you know a former public defender named Stephen Shankman?
I knew him to a degree. I'm not sure we ever had any cases together. I knew who he was, yes.
Well, in a private email, not meant for public consumption, to another one of your professional colleagues, this is what Mr. Shankman said, talking about your lying. He said, "It is unfortunate that this is not the first, second, third, or whatever occasion that this sort of thing has occurred. But everyone should be aware of this unfortunate pattern of behavior. You should be aware," he said to the other lawyer, before the other lawyer dealt with you. "Your client should be aware, and you should proceed with extreme caution." Was Mr. Shankman lying?
To the degree he suggested that I acted unethically, that was not accurate, and it wasn't in any occasion, much less on numerous occasions.
Okay, let's talk about this case, United States v. Von Rico Weber, which you claim to not remember. But before I do that, a few seconds ago, you You lied to Senator Hawley, didn't you?
I'm under oath, Senator. I did not lie.
You said you have no knowledge of any complaint, professional complaint made against you, didn't you?
I said I have no knowledge of any sort of formal complaint, and he read from a letter that I don't believe I ever saw.
And you were shocked. You
If
never heard of that before.
if there were a formal complaint, that, as I said, I had not known about that.
Okay. You were amazed.
I don't recall any of that.
Any.
I recall this Mr.
You
Weber's
have
case.
amnesia about it.
Again, I am unaware of any formal complaint or investigation. Certainly was not,
You believe in the Tooth Fairy?
Senator, I don't.
You believe in the Easter Bunny? Now, in this case, United States v. Von Rico Weber, you lied to the defense counsel. And the defense counsel then had to go before the court and withdraw a plea for his counsel. And a complaint was filed, about which you apparently have amnesia. And the Justice Department replaced you. And the lawyer from the Justice Department who replaced you, this is what the lawyer said. The new attorney said about you. Said these allegations against Mr. Ritz are, quote, serious. And it is taken so seriously, referring to the Department of Justice, by our office. That is one of the reasons I'm here, and Mr. Ritz will be more than likely be taken off this case because of those allegations. End quote. You lied to Senator Hawley, didn't you?
I didn't lie to the defense counsel in that case. I didn't lie today, Senator.
Now, my good friend Senator Ossoff asked you if you'd follow the law. And you said, yeah. But if you're lying to us today, we're stuck with you, aren't we?
Senator, I have not lied and did not lie in that case.
You just have amnesia.
I did not lie in that case. There was a written plea agreement with the entire agreement of the parties.
If you believe that, you believe Elvis is alive and running a small bait stand on Lake Erie. Shame on you.
Kennedy delivered his final devastating blow with characteristic Louisiana flair. He reminded the nominee that earlier in the hearing, when asked if he would follow the law, the nominee had said yes. But Kennedy pointed out the fundamental problem. If you're lying to us today, we're stuck with you, aren't we? The nominee insisted he had not lied and did not lie in the Weber case, claiming there was a written plea agreement with the entire agreement of the parties. Kennedy's response will be remembered as one of the most brutal dismissals in Senate hearing history. If you believe that, you believe Elvis is alive and running a small bait stand on Lake Erie. Shame on you. Kennedy's interrogation was a masterclass in how Senate oversight should work. He didn't rely on partisan talking points or political grandstanding. He used the nominee's own words, documented complaints from professional colleagues, Department of Justice, actions, and contradictory testimony to paint a picture of someone fundamentally unfit for the federal bench. The evidence was overwhelming. A political activist who openly vowed to wield prosecutorial power for progressive causes. A bizarre ruling that removed the Tennessee flag, and most damning of all, a record of dishonesty so severe that the DOJ removed him from cases and colleagues warned one another about him. What made Kennedy's performance particularly devastating was his method. He built his case systematically, allowing no escape routes. The nominee's repeated amnesia about serious complaints, his inability to remember being removed from cases, and his parsing of what constitutes a formal complaint all looked like exactly what Kennedy suggested, lies under oath. When someone claims not to remember professional misconduct serious enough for DOJ intervention, they're either incompetent or dishonest. Neither quality belongs on the federal bench. Kennedy's colorful invocations of the Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, and Elvis weren't just rhetoric. They were pointed declarations that the nominee's testimony defied belief. No reasonable person could accept these convenient memory lapses about career-defining misconduct. The American judicial system demands judges who are honest, impartial, and committed to the law above politics. This nominee failed all 3 tests. Kennedy performed an essential constitutional service by exposing these disqualifying facts before a lifetime appointment could be granted. He came prepared with documentation and used it with surgical precision to protect the integrity of the federal judiciary. This is what Senate oversight looks like when senators refuse to accept evasions and demand accountability. Kennedy honored his constitutional oath brilliantly.